night.
Let's see. Record on the. In
Hey,
case you didn't know, Tony, this meeting is being recorded.
That's right.
All right.
You did talk to my agent, right?
What?
You did talk to my agent, right?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, he said everything was fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's actually
all right.
Dex. So.
Dex is your agent.
Yeah, of course.
What percentage did you get him for this?
Percentage. He just takes it.
Oh, okay.
Swag, Dex, swag.
No, I do.
That's right. I get
The
a free
pass
t-shirt.
straight.
He gave me a free
Oh, no.
All right. In case you didn't know, 3, 2, 1, we are live. It is episode 70 of the One Take Podcast. This week we are doing Twister, a throwback review for you. 1996 classic disaster film. But one of the first kind of throwback we've done since Speed, maybe?
Yeah, I think Speed was our last one.
Gladiator, but that was, this is the last 90s movie we did with Speed. Happened to be same director, actually, that directed this movie. We are joined by none other than Tony Adams from Apollo HOU and Astros Twitter fame. Tony, how you doing, man?
Doing fine. Thanks for having me.
Tony, what is your relationship to Twister, the movie?
Before yesterday, not much.
Oh, really?
I had not watched it before.
You had never watched Twister?
Never watched it.
You never just stumbled upon it on TNT? This is a TNT banger. This is just on all the time.
You know, I'm older than y'all. I grew up in the 70s, and that was a classic time for disaster movies. So, so I went to the theater and saw,
Towering
Earthquake,
Inferno.
Towering Inferno. Actually, I saw Earthquake in Sense Around, where they had these huge bass speakers at the front of the theater, so that you actually felt the earthquake.
That is not a real word.
Sense Around. I swear to God,
You made that word up.
no. And actually, I was 8 years old and actually had to get up because it was like I had to leave because it was just freaking me out.
Giving you a heart murmur. You didn't even know.
It was shaking out my feelings too. So.
God damn.
Yeah.
Tony, thank you for joining us, man. Let's get right into it.
All
Twister. Because I feel like we're going to have a lot to talk about in this movie because it is a time and a half.
So odd. This movie is just odd.
Twister, 1996, has a 6.4 on IMDb. It is an hour and 53 minutes long. It's rated PG-13. Came out in May of 1996. Bill and Joe Harding, advanced storm chasers on the brink of divorce, must join together to create an advanced weather alert system by putting themselves in the crosshairs of extremely violent tornadoes. That is a way overuse of what this movie actually is. It's people go into the middle of tornadoes, the movie. It was directed by the same guy that did Speed, Jan de Bont, or however you say his name. Is actually written by Michael Crichton, who did Jurassic Park, and Anne Marie Martin. It stars Helen Hunt, Bill Paxton, Carrie. I never know how you pronounce his name. Carrie Ills. Jamie Gertz, the fiance who gets done dirty in this movie. But also, speaking of the Hawks, she's fine because she's a co-owner of the Hawks.
I know that.
What?
Oh.
Yep. Her and her husband are billionaires. So
that brings it full circle because the Hawks are playing right now. Y'all won't know this unless you're watching it live, but we're watching Game 3 right now as well.
yeah, so she is a co-owner. She's probably in the stands. She's a co-owner of the Hawks, as well as the Milwaukee Brewers. So I think she's doing okay. Oh, and just
she won.
Yeah, she won. And shockingly, Philip Seymour Hoffman, just crazy.
Yeah.
It's always weird.
Incredible.
Yeah.
This was a year before Boogie Nights.
Was this the year before Boogie Nights?
Yeah.
Incredible. One of the GOATs is just having the most fun of anybody on the set. He's just going for it, and it's amazing.
Yeah, this was before, there's a string of roles like Boogie Nights and including this where it's like he's still trying to figure out if he's coming back from SNL, or if he's going to be like a serious actor or something. And he's just going for it the entire time in 5 of these movies from the 90s to 2005. Along Came Polly. You remember that one?
Yep.
Where he's Raindrop Anyway,
drop.
On a
In
budget
this movie, he definitely reminded me of OG podcast guest Joey Molinaro.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh,
was like,
throwback.
this is just shout out to one of the most infamous guests in One Take Pod history, Joey Molinaro. But that's exactly the energy that Philip Seymour Hoffman had in this movie.
Exactly. This was actually nominated for 2 Oscars. Care to venture a guess?
Technical.
Visual effects.
Visual effects.
Best actress Helen Hunt, the Queen.
Yeah,
It was
right.
loud as shit. So
Yeah.
best sound.
I'm
You're
sure
right.
it got visual awards.
Best sound and best effects. Visual
Let's
effects.
go.
Yeah, it's nominated for those 2. And it's almost like this movie was like they didn't have a script, but they were like, we can do tornadoes real good, and they're like, let's make a movie. On a budget of night, it was a fucking hit. $92 million, $494 million worldwide gross. This movie went.
Yep.
And
that was $1996.
yeah,
As they knew it would.
yeah, them's is Clinton era administration dollars. 60% on Rotten Tomato critic score, 58% audience score, which is shocking to me.
Yeah, that
The
does seem
audience-
low.
The audience was like, nah. But yeah, so basically I'm not going to read. Oh, a high concept blockbuster that emphasizes special effects over 3-dimensional characters, twisters, visceral thrills are often offset by the film's generic plot. Basically, it was just saying there is nothing here, but it's fun.
Every disaster movie is kind of like this. I think people are being too hard on it, but the plot is extremely flimsy. I mean, they just basically chased 19 tornadoes in one day, which is a completely crazy plot. It doesn't make sense.
I just want to appreciate Tony literally laughing out loud when he heard this was high concept.
Concept. It's like
High
a Mad Lib script.
Tony, go ahead, man. On this podcast, we give it a letter grade, so anywhere from A to F, and yeah, give it a quick review.
Okay. Well, honestly, it seemed very formulaic. You know, you had your wacky ragtag group of people chasing the storm, and then you also had the corporate storm chasers in their black vans. I mean, it was just very kind of
the most
cliche.
corporate cliche of all time. Like screw the man. They got money, whatever.
Right. And you know, and every character in the ragtag group was had this wacky personality, and was, you know, having their little own little quirks and stuff. And I don't know, it just seemed even with like the competition between the fiance and the ex, it was all just seemed like it was all very formulaic, I guess is the best way to say it. And so I like the action scenes. Obviously the tornadoes were very well done. At the time, that was very groundbreaking 3D graphics, which I think brought a lot of people to the theater. But for me, it just didn't quite hold up as a plot or a movie and as a character. I mean, you basically knew what was going to happen, you know, from the very start.
What would you give it, letter grade?
This is a K2.
Oh, yeah. Not a F5.
F5. I'm sorry, F2. I'm sorry. That's right. That's the F2. I think it's probably a good C+.
Okay. All right. I do like the grade of like F2 through F5. That's actually really funny. All right, Tej, let's go ahead with you, man. What'd you think? You're a sucker for these kind of movies, though.
I love a disaster movie, and I just love movies from the 90s. I love Philip Seymour Hoffman. Every time I watch this movie, even though the plot is stupid and the dialogue is stupid, I'm literally blown away by Helen Hunt's performance every time I watch this movie. I just think she's so good. She kind of captures that, like, obviously really good at her job, takes her job really seriously. Obviously, like, going through some trauma. Her ex-husband or her soon-to-be ex-husband has shown up with this new chick who's, like, you know, more successful. Arguably, she probably makes a lot more money. And she just does such a good job conveying that. But, you know, it's a stupid disaster movie. It looks great. The twisters still look amazing. when you see the F5 finally after you've seen, I love the way they kind of pace it. You kind of see the little twisters, which is scary as hell, until you see the bigger twisters, and then all of a sudden you see this behemoth twister that they tell you is a mile long at least 7 times, or a mile wide at least 7 times.
Yeah.
I always enjoy it, but it's not the greatest movie. But whenever it's on, back in the days we used to scroll through TV and catch a movie halfway through, I used to always watch this. So I would give it a solid B-. It's a perfectly fine movie. Anyone who hasn't seen it should just watch it. It's just a good way to kill some time.
HBO Max.
Scroll Instagram at the same time. It's like it's a really great movie to just kind of turn your brain off. And Helen Hunt is a queen. So
she did very well, actually. And I should have pointed that out. I will say that she, just in general, like the dialogue, I was trying to count how many times they were being chased by a tornado, and somebody said, hurry. Yeah.
Go faster.
Go faster.
Yeah, no shit.
And like when he was driving down the street or down the road and the things were falling down, she was like, right, left. I just thought, yeah, that's why he wants to divorce you. He won't let him drive.
There's the backseat driver, but there's like literal tractors falling out of the sky, all in succession, where he can avoid all of them. It was awesome.
He can see, and I don't know why she's telling him to go left or right.
The physics of this movie make absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
There are scenes where there are heavier vehicles than the truck that they happen to be in at whatever time are literally being tossed around, and they're just watching go by. And I'm like, if it can move a boat, why can't it doesn't even touch this truck? The truck isn't even like driving slower, or like it's not affecting the driving at all. Like the physics of this movie make absolutely no sense. But
at one point, it lifts up an entire 18-wheeler and its tanker and drops it in front of him, and they drive through it still.
The 18-wheeler,
like it doesn't make sense.
And the 18-wheeler nudges them, like they're stuck on a log, and the 18-wheeler is used to literally nudge them off the log, and nothing else happens.
And the sensor packet that they had was too light.
Yeah,
I didn't quite get that. It needed to be heavier.
Oh yeah, that's you were talking to Tej about just scrolling through. That is one thing about this movie, as with kind of like Speed 2, not Speed 2, the actual good one, Speed. The Speed also, yes. The thing with this is that it's almost designed perfectly for cable TV, where you can just tune in whenever and you're not lost. You can just go with the rest of the story.
Yeah.
You're like, whatever. All right, I'm here now.
You know all the characters already. You don't have to. There's no backlog of history with these characters you have to pick up. You know what's going on immediately.
Completely.
You either come in at the first chase or the second chase or the third chase or the fourth chase. It doesn't matter. You're in. You can jump into it at any point, and you know exactly what's happening. But it just like this movie takes place in a day, maybe a day and a half, and they see 8 tornadoes. That literally doesn't make any sense
across like the entire state of Oklahoma.
Right.
Like they're driving up and down the state.
The president of the United States is never seen in this movie, but they would be like, "We got to evacuate all of it. Just go to Texas, go somewhere."
Oklahoma's done. Oklahoma's over.
I would say, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Tom.
At the beginning, I knew I was kind of in trouble because when she was a young child and her house was being hit by a tornado, and they went down into the cellar, and the door of a tornado cellar was held on by 2 little bitty screws.
A latch.
Like they got it at IKEA or something,
Not even the dad was like, "This will work fine," and it's just like the thing that you use to keep people out of your hotel room.
Yeah, and then he's trying to hold the door, and I'm like, "Just let go of it."
That was objectively hilarious.
Bro.
When he flew into the sky, and it's supposed to be this emotional moment, I cackled. I was like, "That."
He runs into a barn, and they say he immediately goes, "Those pipes are at least 30 feet in the ground. Just hang on to it." And it's like, I just saw that tornado literally toss an 18-wheeler, but 2 regular strength humans are just going to hold on for dear life and be in the middle of that same tornado. That
and
makes no sense.
What about the debris?
Yeah. I'm talking about the dad in the very beginning stage when he gets ripped off with the door and he flies. He's like, "Bye."
I was just happy they didn't kill the dog in that scene. So I always
I
appreciate that the dog
definitely thought the
survived.
dog was about to die.
'Cause I
in that
thought
scene.
they kept showing the dog. I was like, oh, that dog's fucking dead. Like that dog's gone. I'm glad.
And
they
it was
did
a
a
Toto
couple
dog
times.
too, by the way. It was the same type of dog.
Yes.
Yeah, they do that a couple times with this. They're like, it's in the golden retriever in their aunt's house or whatever. It's like, go
Yeah.
save the dog. They do that a couple times where we don't care about these humans enough. We got to add an animal. So
There's got to
there's
be a
little-
dog.
Yeah.
That's right.
This movie doesn't make that much money if they kill a dog. This is like the Anchorman story. Have you ever heard the Anchorman story? Like in the screen when they do the little screen reactions where they're showing it to people for the first time before the movie comes out, they crowd tested the movie and people were like, loved it, but when he kicked the dog off the bridge, which is the funniest part of the movie, the dog doesn't come back in the original version of this film. And everybody around the board was just like, you can't do that. Like, like the dog is just dead. We don't like that. And they literally put the dog coming back into the movie because it screen tested so horribly. So they knew you can't kill those dogs. You can kill as many humans as you want, but you can't kill
Right.
them.
You can kill her dad, but not the dog.
Exactly.
Yeah, like 3 people die in this movie, and that's it. Like
That's
the worst
shocking,
tornadoes ever.
That's shocking, actually. All right, Dex, go ahead.
Yeah, this movie is fine. It's like a straight C for me. Like it came to class, it did the work, it didn't do it well, but like the work is done. It gets a C and it moves on. Like the plot ass, they could have done so much more with it. Like I thought, at first I thought, oh, we're gonna get like this really cool, like it's analytics versus like mid-range jumpers. Like Bill Paxton's gonna beat them, like just sniffing dirt and tracking tornadoes and shit. But nah, it's like we never talk to the villain ever again until he like dies. That's it.
In a very hilarious way, too.
Yeah, he dies.
Yeah, and
like,
he didn't do anything wrong, really. They were just like, this is the opposite of Armageddon, where Armageddon was like corporations, fuck yeah. This was like corporations, bad, because he has money or whatever.
Right.
One to
It's-
make a living. Wow,
It's still
how
science. I
dare
mean, you would think they would want them to get the data too, just because it would help, get the early warning system just as well as they would have.
Well, they try to split the line because Bill Paxton tells him right before he dies, hey, the load is too light. You have to make it heavier. So he's obviously trying to tell him, like, okay, you are going to beat us. I'll help you beat us. And then the driver gets impaled and their car blows up.
They final destinationed him.
Poor
that
guy.
I think that was the funniest part of the whole thing. Where he had a chance to turn around and didn't.
And he
Honestly,
thought about
yeah.
it too. Right before that thing went through his body, he was like, maybe. Wait.
Yeah, I mean, my man just had zero free will and was like, I guess I got to drive this truck because this random dude next to me said so. Like,
That's right. I got to pay the bills.
and so now he's dead. But yeah, so that kind of went nowhere. Dude just showed back up and died. The fiance thing I thought was going to be way more interesting, but she just bowed out gracefully, like halfway through.
Crazy.
She
Shocking.
was just like, "Nah, I see the jig. I'm good."
She had no competitive spirit, bro. She didn't even try.
None.
And that's actually, I think, a place where they could have made the script a little bit more unusual, where she might have actually enjoyed what they were doing instead of being this whiny little, delicate woman who was screaming all the time.
Nah, but I feel it though. I'm going home. Fuck that. Like,
Yeah, there you go.
what the fuck are we doing this for?
Basically, you can have him. No, I'm done with it.
How did she have phone service in 1996 with 1996 cell phone technology
In the
in
middle
the
of a
middle
tornado?
of a tornado?
On a lake.
And she's taking multiple calls? That doesn't make any sense. You can't even get phone service today during a tornado,
In
let alone
Oklahoma.
they're driving through small towns. You don't get service there anyway. Like on a
Right.
clear sunny day, like she's just on the big ass phone, just having conversations. She doesn't even say like, "What? Can you hear me? Oh my god, the service is going out." She's just having regular
She's
conversations.
doing therapy. And,
That doesn't
Wild.
make any sense.
But yeah, I thought she was gonna. I thought they were gonna at least like Meredith Blake where she like is putting up a fight, like trying to get the guy or
Or
whatever.
just
his name
pretend that
is,
she was
Bill.
enjoying herself or that she was into this, and then finally say, "No, I can't do it."
Or
But it
do
was-
anything other than just be
Exactly.
like, "No, I'm going home," which like is understandable because also I am going the fuck home to borrow a Roydenism. Why? You don't have to. Like we don't have to do things.
That's right.
literally do not have to like sit in the middle of like a of a barn and watch cars and a movie theater come through and it hit your friends on the head, these people you just met on the head with glass. Like you can go home.
You can go home. You don't have to do this.
Maybe
you don't
it
have
was
to
the
do
scene.
this one last job trope. We don't need that.
Maybe it was where the scene where the guy got hit with the hubcap.
Yeah. Nailed.
That was another funny scene.
The chick is grabbing him. She's like, "You're okay. You're okay." And I'm like, "No, you just got scalped. This man is done. Like, it's over for him. He just got.
He's in the next scene driving a car, dude. You are concussed.
CTE.
That's right. If he's not concussed, he's got PTSD with cars and hubcaps and wheels.
But yeah, man, this movie it's fine. The action scenes are all cool. I got to the end of it and I was like, okay, like they did everything that they had to do, I guess. It's a C. It's fine.
This is the definition of a B movie for me, to be completely honest. Like, this is B, and not B movie in the sense of that you see that it's purposely bad, as in this was trying to be good, and there's parts of it that are, but it's just so campy and corny that it has to be a B. Can't be anything more, anything less. Because even when you're watching the tornadoes, yeah, they look kind of dated, but even so, watching it on my Vizio TV, I was sitting there going, that ain't bad, actually. That ain't that bad. The only thing that was terrible was, one, the cow flying around was bad, but also in the very beginning of the movie,
that's the most iconic shot of the movie.
I know, but it's bad. And the very beginning, they're tracking around the globe with the fakest fake satellite. Yeah. The most 1990s clip art satellite. They're just like, yeah, we got a lot of other shit to worry about in this movie. But I thought the practical effects were actually really cool as well, because they crash a lot of cars. When that thing comes through when the tornado comes through the movie theater and they're all in that barn or what have you, they throw a car through the top of that roof. They have a sign come crashing down on them. It looks like they put Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton through hell filming this movie. It looks like they were running in mud and in everything,
rain and water,
in rain and wind for days. It looked like awful. It looked terrible. But I will say the physics of this movie don't make any sense, especially when the thing lifts up and then it just shoots around, and they eventually find out, they're just like, hey, what if we just fucking drove the car into the middle of the tornado? Would that work? Would that work? Sure.
They did not plan their attack very well.
No.
Just, let's get really close to this F5, tornado. And
let's shoot our car let's shoot our car into this F5 tornado. You're still 30 yards. They're like, it's shifting. Well, you're still only 30 yards from it, regardless if it's shifting. You didn't plan this out to begin with.
This did come out 2 years after Jurassic Park, so the 3D graphics was still very much in its infancy. And that was actually, I think they said, well, we can do this. Let's do it. And so they the tornado was basically the star. And then they just kind of put a story around it,
Yeah, the divorce story makes no sense. They do that poor fiance so dirty in this movie, where it's just from the very beginning that they're going to get back together at the very end. But she's they make her this yuppie thing, and they're just like, wait, do you think I need therapy because I'm marrying a therapist? Oh, let's shit on mental. This is the most 1990s.
Right.
Let's shit on mental health.
And she was the complete opposite of Helen Hunt, so it was this dichotomy that just why would he even ask a woman like that to marry him?
I like Helen Hunt in this. I don't like Helen Hunt's story, because it's just let me just get closer to the tornado. I want to see it. And at one point,
my dad might be in there.
Yeah. I think he's coming back.
My dad's in the tornado.
I'm coming back from Oz.
Yeah, I just think that story is so stupid, because at one point, Bill Paxton has to yell at her. He's like, "We get you have daddy issues, we know, but you can't get close to a tornado. We wouldn't think we would have to tell a tornado chaser this."
So have you read the manual?
Yeah, I always thought that was crazy.
We're
I-
like literally under a wooden bridge right now, like nothing but vibes and this tornado right here. Like, no, you can't run back out there and pick up these sensors off the ground. We're done. It's over.
It was like so nonsensical. She's like literally like, no, we can save it. And it's like, no, you can't. Like, what are you thinking?
You think you're just gonna pick these fucking sensors up one by one, just carry them in your shirt during this tornado? Like, what the fuck?
I love how they
Toss them at it.
finally. Yeah, I love how they finally get the sensors to work by the most obvious product placement ever, by putting Pepsi cans in them so they can fly.
That was a disgusting amount of product. Like for a movie from the 90s, I said, oh God. Because if you're just getting random cans, like just because you're in a jam, you're gonna have cans of every single type.
It's all Pepsi.
Somebody
It wasn't
had
even like Diet Pepsi and Pepsi and
somebody had
Pepsi
300
products.
pristine
It was just
Pepsi cans just lying around. Like I just happen to have these. Oh my God, guys, I got you. I got 500 of these. Like that doesn't make any sense.
Speaking of just happening to have things, when they go to the aunt's house, why does she have like 18 steaks just ready to go? Thawed out, just ready to cook. Just people
Don't
could
you-
pop up
don't-
unannounced. Steak
don't
next
you
to
have
everybody.
She slaughtered beef on her own. She went in the back and she said, "No, I got this, guys. Don't worry. I got."
Well,
this
that's what he said. He's like, "How do you have this much?" They say, "How do you have this
Yeah.
much?" Guys, he's like, "Do you see my cow out front? She went and killed a cow."
he.
But also, like Bill Paxton's just showering at that house and just changes clothes. Like he still got clothes at that aunt's house. Like what is? Like you never loved this woman that you're with currently.
That was weird. Also, why does he have a walkie-talkie in his truck that he doesn't use to chase tornadoes, which is a new truck? He's just like, oh, okay, like I'll just jump on that. I didn't
That's so
understand that at all.
80s. That's so 80s, 90s having a CB radio
It's
in
not-
your.
It's 80s, maybe the mid 90s. I think it would be pretty odd to have a CB, but you
Whatever.
know, maybe it's just used to it.
Yeah. I do love the backstories though of everybody being like, you don't really see it until like they tie themselves down onto the pipes, but he's like, Bill's a wild man. He's a wild man. And basically the entire movie he's like, why are we doing this?
That's right.
Yeah.
Calling him the
mean-
wild man when Helen Hunt literally has a death wish was just
What's
weird. Like he's literally has to keep her from killing herself at least 7 times in this film.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a storm chaser. He's kind of wild.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I just think the love story. It's basically like they. You're right, Tony. They wanted to make they wanted to make a tornado movie, and they made one, and they're like, "How the fuck do we sell this?" Love story between Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt at the height of their powers. They're divorced, but not really. What we put a yuppie therapist in there? Okay, cool. And then she's cool with it because dudes rock. Like that was the whole thing.
By the way, really, really weird to like take a couple's trip to get your divorce papers signed so you can
Yeah.
get
Yeah,
married.
not once.
Bringing your soon-to-be wife to the place where you're going to get the divorce paper signed was just extremely bad decision, and it could have went much worse for my guy. Like it could have went much worse. So he's very lucky that didn't go bad.
Of course,
Yeah.
unfortunately, or not unfortunately, but like she was down the entire time until he like gets and puts her in a car with Philip Seymour Hoffman. She's like, all right.
Yeah, he was kind of creepy with her, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was like,
everyone.
hold her hand.
He was like the suck zone. I was like, bro, that's your coworker's wife. Please
Yeah.
stop.
Philip Seymour Hoffman would just like touch on everybody. He just like randomly started kissing that dude on the cheek at the beginning. It's like, bro, relax.
Did y'all feel the sparks when the scene where Helen Hunt is driving and he's got to put the equipment on her and he's like touching her and you get that little moment where there's a little bit of a spark. They're both like, "Ooh, you're touching me. I'm feeling this."
I felt it.
Even though we're chasing a tornado, but I guess if you chase tornadoes for a living, maybe you could like
High
be turned
stakes,
on in
man.
that moment. Yeah,
High stakes.
Maybe it could work.
Bill Paxton's like the only way I can get the only way
The only way I
I
can get it up is
Chase
we got to chase a
tornado.
tornado right now. Get me to Oklahoma right now.
Is there
The
something in
therapy-
Kansas?
The therapist didn't work, so this is
Yeah, therapy. Obviously, he needs therapy if the
That's
only
right.
way that he can. Viagra's not even working. I need an F3 at least. I think the love story is fine because obviously you want because they just put them together. They never they rarely put them in situations where the fiance is also there. And like one time that they do, they nearly kill her. So it's just like obvious, it doesn't really make any sense. But also I cannot get over her at the very end being like, I'm good.
It's very nonchalant.
Y'all go do that.
Y'all
I'm
go home. I'm a
Peace out,
I'm gonna be me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna unfollow you on Facebook. If you
Yeah, it's like, do they live together at this point? Like, is she just going? Is she going to get all of her shit right now? Like,
oh my god! I will say this though, not that it took much work. This makes living in Oklahoma look like ass. Looks like terrible,
and that's accurate. So
Yes,
I'm gonna go with it.
I literally wrote down, this is why Oklahoma City can't get free agents. This movie. So anybody who has seen the movie Twister is like, no, I'm not living in fucking Oklahoma.
Yeah, there was points where I was rooting for the Twister.
You said nobody dies in this, but they just wiped out like 30 cow towns within this movie. But I just love how it's like the biggest tornado event of all time, all concealed within the Oklahoma plains, and there's just no cut to. It's just these people trying to chase down these tornadoes. There's no cut to the president or anybody, FEMA, no one, just going like, what is going on?
The National Guard choppers aren't out here. Like,
Nope.
Yeah, if one area of the country has like 9 tornadoes in one day, everyone's going to be talking about that. That's not a local news story anymore. Like, and that is massive event.
Yeah, they couldn't pay to get CNN out there in this
Wolf
movie. Wolf
Blitzer is like reporting on this shit live.
Exactly. It is just so funny because it's just like they might as well have made this movie. If we propel these sensors, it'll destroy the tornado. That's what they should have done with this movie. Not science. It'll track to like be able to predict when a tornado. If we can put these sensors in the tornado, it'll blow the tornado up. That's what they should have done.
It doesn't matter if you have early warning. If you go into a bunker and it's got a little screw holding up the door.
The thing about that is he didn't even need to hold the fucking door because the door flew off and the kid and the mom were fine. Like, let the door go. You don't need it. It's fine.
If they ever remake this movie, the first plan of action is definitely going to be to drop a nuke in the middle of the tornado for sure. Like the fact that it did not come up in the script is insane because that's exactly what we would do in 2021.
Wasn't it Trump that said, "Can we nuke the hurricane"? Did he say that?
I think it was.
Did he literally say that?
Happened.
He did.
They were like, "Yeah, we're gonna fucking fly into the middle of the hurricane, drop a bomb, and then the hurricane will go."
That's
the
hurricane way. So that should have been the first idea.
That's right. And then the radiation gets dispersed with the hurricane.
That second part of this movie.
That's right.
I definitely remember them having to like tell people, guys, there's a fucking hurricane. Do not shoot bullets into the air randomly.
There definitely should have been a scene of somebody be like, "Don't worry, Helen, I got it," and just come out with a shotgun.
I do love the juxtaposition though. It's there was one of two camps in the 90s. One is the Michael Bay camp where everything is we love oil and we love corporations and the government and all, or fuck the government and all that. And the other is corporations are the most evil thing that has ever existed. I can't believe that you're doing science for money, yada yada yada. And you have both of those two things in this movie. And I think the corporation is in the right here.
Yeah, why wouldn't we try to make money off of
this? This is $1 billion idea. It's $1 billion
Literally
idea.
Billions of dollars.
That's what I wrote down in the first interview. Caitlin and I were watching this, and I was like, "Why wouldn't you sell this?" He's like, "What?" I was like, "Why wouldn't you?" It's a movie. I said, "No. Let's take all that out. If you had this idea, you patent this idea, and you sell this to the government. Like that's what you do." But they're just out there living on their aunt's steaks and
driving Winnebagos.
Yeah.
It's absolutely his fault that his idea got stolen. He took no steps to make sure that this idea did not get stolen. Like, it's absolutely his own fault.
Yeah, and he wasn't even gonna do it. He was out of the game.
He's out of the game, bro. He obviously didn't have any faith that they could actually make this thing that he created in his head. So he was out of the game. Like, I'm stealing your fucking idea. Society needs this to happen. You want to go be a weatherman? That's fine, but society still needs this technology.
Yeah, are you trying to save lives or not? Because like if you gotta save lives, we can't count on this, your ragtag group. Of
I want the
Oklahoma
credit
friends.
for it. Is what it was all about. You know, I don't care if I want to be the one that gets this data, not you.
Yeah.
You know,
my favorite trope that they do in this movie, it's like, it's not the same as yours. This is a little bit different, and it's square sensors instead of circle sensors.
It's not Dorsey, it's .3.
.3. Oh my God. I did say the first time they would be dead so many times in this movie, but the very first tornado, when they're just under the bridge and it rips the entire bridge, but somehow not them, they're dead. You're a dead person. You're hitting the head with a nail.
Do they even bleed? Do the main characters even shed blood in this movie? I don't think that they do.
I feel like no, actually.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know Helen Hunt for a fact doesn't.
That's crazy.
The only person in their crew that really gets hurt is the dude that gets hit by a hubcap.
but his head should have been like shaved right off. I mean,
that's definitely decapitation. I don't know how the hell he survived that.
Done.
He was just like fine. He was just like,
bounced right off his head.
He got Lucy Lude, Kill Bill, like he's done. It's over.
None of the. It's funny because the only people that they kill are the driver that didn't do anything wrong and the dude that was kind of a dick.
And the dad,
he wouldn't,
and that's it.
And the dad, and they didn't really. They show getting killed, mind you. There's probably thousands of people in the.
I think we're supposed to assume that although they don't show it, a lot of people died in the events of this film.
I mean, there's 18 tornadoes in one day, so
the aunt just in her house, just under all of this rubble, just chilling, just vibing.
I'm okay.
Me and the dog, we both made it. The house is like literally leaning sideways.
You made me think of the one scene where they're going to her aunt's house after the tornado, and that slow-mo scene where she looks up to the side and sees the husband and the mom and the little girl. And it looked just like her parents.
This film is so 90s though too, because it sits there and it has all these moments, and then it takes a beat to slow down when they're at the aunt's house and she's going through her knickknacks or whatever. And then there's just this slow, like Cranberries song in the background or whatever. And it's just like, what are we doing? What is this not the tornado chase movie? Just keep chasing tornadoes.
Nah, we gotta eat surprise breakfast at this moment.
Also, so that woman is Helen Hunt's aunt, right? Not Bill Paxton's aunt, correct?
Helen Hunt, yeah.
So they're having the conversation, and like instead of using like some kind of care, like I was at work one day minding my own business. My ex-husband, my soon-to-be ex-husband, showed up with divorce papers with his new wife, and the aunt is just like, well, you know, you were basically flawed as shit and never let him in. And it's like, okay, that might be true, but at this moment, aunt, like I really need you to be on my side of this thing. I'm having a very traumatic day. I just got chased by some tornadoes. I almost died. My ex-husband's being a dickhead. He showed up with his new wife. Like, it's not time for you to criticize me as a wife right now. That didn't make sense at all to me. Like,
yeah, we're not doing this right now.
Yeah, this is not the time for this conversation. Like, you got to give me years before you're like, oh, you know, you really fucked that up with Bill, right? Like, what are you doing?
You are also kind of fucking awful, is what.
Yeah, like. That's horrible. It's like basically like Bill left you, but he had a great reason. So suck on that.
Well, your art sucks. So
yeah, I would have left you too. You fucking suck. If you weren't my niece, you'd be done.
That's not how people talk to people who are going through divorce. Trust me, that's crazy. Like,
no,
Helen Hunt's a saint because she should have cussed her on out and said, "We're getting the fuck out of here." But
fuck you and your steaks. We're done.
That's an awful lot of gravy for this. Some pound people.
I asked for medium rare. Garbage.
Just an insane amount of food to just have when 18 people
maybe
show
the
up to get
steaks were in the freezer,
house.
but the potatoes. How many potatoes did you?
You know what I will say about this, and it's probably accurate, because it correct me if I'm wrong, Dex and Tej, there's not one black person in this movie because
was
the
first thing I wrote down was I've seen this movie before, but I was like, I'm pretty sure there are 0 black people in Twister,
not
and you could
easily
drop black people into the drive-in movie theater. You could easily put a black guy on each crew. It doesn't make sense that there are no black people in this film.
Make a black guy like be an EMT that's like on the ambulance, do anything.
But from what I know about horror movies, y'all would have been just out of there. Like every time that I've heard it, it's just like
make the family that dies, the dad that dies, make it a black dad. Boom, black people in the movie. He's dead. He's dead in the first 5 minutes. You don't got to worry about him no more.
I mean, there are no black folks in this movie. None. It's crazy.
But again, most of
actually no people of color.
Not living in Oklahoma for any reason other than playing for the Sooners. Like
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is the only black person in Oklahoma. But I'm just saying. I mean, there was no NBA team in Oklahoma at this time, but there were Sooners there still. They could have had somebody there.
Anyone, but this might be the whitest film we've ever reviewed, maybe.
Literally, we've reviewed some very white films.
It's there up there with Perks of Being a Wallflower.
It's whiter than Perks of Being a Wallflower.
There are no people of color in this movie at all.
None.
At all.
Perks of Being a Wallflower had the one Asian girl. So
crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man. I did say one of the best shots, though, of course, driving through the house is comically stupid, but very awesome.
So fucking cool.
So fucking fun.
It made just zero sense.
We're going in, and they somehow just barrel through an entire house.
Yeah, why are we going in?
They're driving upstairs that are upside down, as they're like crashing into the ground and breaking. Just incredible. This movie was Fast and Furious before Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
This is a huge Dodge Ram ad, is what I think this was. Or I don't even know what that truck was. But I did say a couple of the shots, and we can get into a draft here in a little bit. The shot of the tornado destroying The Shining in the theater and like all that shot, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
The practical effects were very 1990s, like Stevens, or even pre-1990, like Steven Spielberg, where the thing is obviously like on a crane or something, and it just kind of it looks like
Goonies or something.
Yeah, it looks like you would be on a ride, an animatronic ride, and there's like, oh no, look out for the car, and it would just
like comes slow motion through the barn.
One
a
thing
Twister ride would have been fun. Why did we never have a Twister ride? But a
I thought
Twister ride
they
would have
did.
been
I thought
fucking
they
awesome.
did.
Maybe they did because it sounds like an idea that's too good to be true.
It seems like something.
I really
they
thought they
had.
did in the not Warner Brothers, but
Universal.
Let me look. Go ahead, Dex. Your point.
One thing we have to talk about that we haven't mentioned yet is that this device is the stupidest, most complicated possible thing to use to track a tornado.
Yep.
And the technology was not around. It's not around now. I don't.
You literally have to flip like 87 different switches, and then manually lift it off the truck, and then just hope a tornado runs over it. That was their plan.
That's what I said. You were like, you just leave it there. But I was like,
plan.
you have to wait for it to hopefully go and then spread its wings. But then it does, and then it's too light and it breaks it up.
It's also
like, go ahead.
It ages so bad because now we have like drones. We could just like fly some shit into the middle of the tornado if we want to. Having to literally spend human capital to place it within feet of the eye of a tornado is crazy. It doesn't. Who designed this? This plan doesn't make any sense.
How was this your plan? Did it have buttons back in 1996?
Light the fuse and run.
Was there not a remote in 1996? You could just
that's all. You can't just set this down and drive away and hope like it goes.
They had remote control cars. So if you just have something that is remote controlled and you can set it down where you think the storm's going to go and then go off site somewhere and then move it around, why can't we do that? Like, it's crazy to think that we have to do all this shit and then we have to literally put humans at risk to put it in front of a store. That's crazy.
They could have, but Helen Hunt was like, I got to get closer.
Helen Hunt's like, I want to get close. They were
Yeah,
like,
and
here's remote technology. And she was like, no, fuck that technology. I want to get in the eye of the storm my damn self.
I gotta touch it.
And it
Your
just
dad's in
makes
there.
sense
My
to me.
dad is in there.
Because the whole reason that
Daddy!
they want to do this is so that they can predict and track storms or whatever. But the only way this is literally possible at all is for them to predict the fucking storm in the first place. Like,
Go. But they feel it. They can't do that all the time.
yeah, he smells dirt.
That's right. That's right.
It's over yonder.
And
Oh,
they
that
all
was
knew,
so bad.
They all knew how it was going to turn, and
There's a twister around them hills.
He just grabbed some dirt and he's just like, guys, I know it now. It's like, come on, bro. If you're this good, we don't actually need this machine for this information.
Just
because
have
you can
you.
just tell us where shit's going.
Oh my god, there was a twister ride.
He's the
It was
Twister
called-
Whisperer.
Twister Whisperer. It was called Twister. Ride It Out was an indoor special effects attraction based in the 1996 film Twister, located at the New York themed area of Universal Studios, Florida. It replaced Ghostbusters Spooktacular and opened to the general public in May 4th, 1998.
That sounds so fun.
Actually had hosts Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt.
Nice.
Were featured in recorded video and audio narrations throughout the attraction. Guess what it was replaced by, though?
Jaws.
No, Jaws is still right.
Terminator.
Race Through New York with Jimmy Fallon.
Wait,
Yeah.
so this ride lasted a long time?
It lasted from 98 to 2015.
Wow.
I didn't realize it was still there in 2015.
Yeah, I knew there was a Twister. Yeah. Anyway, just a couple more things here. I do love the exchange at the very end between the fiance and Bill, and she basically pulled a Magic Johnson of being like, I'm not going to be here.
Yeah. I'll see you when I get home.
I'll see you at the hotel. No.
Nah.
I'm not going to the hotel.
I'm going to tell you something really quickly.
No.
Listen, brother, I'm not going to be at the hotel. Sorry.
Okay, and then the climax of the movie, they outrun an F5 tornado.
Yep. Yeah.
On
Through
foot.
a cornfield.
On foot. Their plan is to drive a truck that the guy only has liability insurance on, by the way. And
Which
and
gets destroyed too, by the way. The truck is
Yeah.
destroyed.
Yeah, you're done.
to drive the truck through and jump out in the middle of the cornfield. Then they're just sitting there like, awesome. Oh no.
Oh shit, there's still a tornado here.
Yeah, and then they have to outrun a tornado. They go into one barn. One of the barns is filled with like slaughtering equipment, and they make the conscious decision.
It's like
to be
Leatherface's barn.
yeah, they make the conscious decision to be like, yeah, not here. And then they run again. Like, I can't believe no way that you would outrun on foot. I'd be dead. I would be dead. I'm slow.
Yeah, I am stretched. I'm not prepared for this.
Bill Paxton didn't look very fast either, but he made it work.
Can run faster than a tornado on foot. And then there's like horses that are just chilling over there until they see Helen Hunt running, and then they're like, "Oh, we gotta get the fuck out of here."
They're smart. We better run too. They're humans.
And
Well,
then
yeah,
they tie themselves to that pipe, and then they're looking up through the middle of a tornado, and they're just like, all right.
The funniest part about the end of the movie to me is that it's very obvious that it's not going to rain, but they wanted to have like the dramatic rain like look to their scene. They just like bust a pipe and make it look like rain in the middle. So it's literally just them just chilling there being rained on. Everyone else is just like looking at them
I love when they're the quirky
5 feet away.
the quirky coworkers are coming to see if they're actually alive, and they're still blaring their music.
Oh yeah, that was another thing. He Philip Seymour Hoffman put his music, instead of playing it on a cassette tape or a CD, he put it in like a VCR on a tape deck and then blared it over loudspeakers on top of his car.
That's right.
That was
Right.
Fury Road vibes. I loved it. I was like, this is Fury Road. The cars are on the line. He's blaring the music. Let's fucking go. I
Well, when
also
you're
like
coming-
how he
Sorry,
serves as kind of like the audience narrator. He's like the guy sitting next to you in the movie theater as you're watching. He's just like, now it's really gonna get fun. He's just like interjecting these things. It's just, I just love it, man.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I mean, it's an action film, so you kind of check your brain as far as plot goes. It's obviously not a drama. It's not Godfather 2 or anything like that.
Oh,
so.
I beg to differ.
And it was fun for the action.
All right. Anything else on this movie?
No, there's not really much else to say. If you haven't seen Twister, go see Twister. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's on HBO or TNT probably right now.
That's right.
Let us do a draft of best disaster films right after
Let's
this
do it.
ad break by Apollo Houston. Do we have a draft order, Sir Dex?
Yeah, it's Tony, Tej, Royden, Dex.
Okay. Tony, we're going to do a pick of four picks.
4 picks each.
Yeah, 4 picks each, but it's a snake draft, so you get 2 in the middle.
Gotcha.
All right. So, first overall pick, what are you going with?
Well, I'm from a different generation, so I'm going with the Poseidon Adventure.
Oh, the original Poseidon Adventure.
That's right, Gene Hackman, and it's one that I actually have watched a lot of, and I've always enjoyed it.
What do you think about the remake?
You know what? Because I appreciated the original so much, I haven't watched the remake. I just avoided it on purpose.
I only know Poseidon Adventure from the remake, actually, and then I've gone back since.
Right.
But yeah, the remake wasn't terrible. It was very 2008.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this.
It's a ship gets hit by a tidal wave.
You haven't heard of the Poseidon Adventure?
No.
Oh, yeah. So a ship gets overturned and they have to escape the ship. It's Gene Hackman and Shelley Winters. She actually was nominated for an Oscar. I believe it's so.
Hold on. We may have to kick. Hold on. Let's see. Tej was trying to join. Tell him to try and rejoin, Dex. Sorry for those of you that are watching us live. Well, he tried to rejoin and I don't know what happened.
Live TV.
Live TV.
The Poseidon Adventure is one of the classic disaster films. If you haven't watched it, it's OG for sure. But
Let's see.
Your call is very important to us.
To us.
Thank
I'm
you
gonna-
for holding.
I'm interested to see what everybody does for this.
it's a difficult one because there's lots of different eras, I guess, of disaster films.
True.
Shit. Hold on. Oh no. All right, let's see if he can do it again. For those of you that are watching us live, please stay on the line. God damn it. Did I accidentally block Tej somehow?
I guess. Do we need to start another meeting?
Actually, probably. See if he can't join one more time. How did he get kicked in the first place? Oh, there he is. What happened?
Wait, is he back?
Are you here?
Yeah, I had to, for whatever reason, my computer wasn't trying to let me back in, so I just went to my phone.
All right, so let's finish this out. Yes, it is. All right, Tej, the first pick was Poseidon Adventure. What was your pick?
Don't love this movie, but I'm gonna have to pick it. The most complete disaster movie, if we're not counting like a feature, like a creature feature, like Jurassic Park, is Titanic.
Yeah.
It's got enough high points. It's at least an hour too long, but the love story is compelling. The love story is compelling, and it's just a fun ride. You just wish it was a shorter movie, but I'm going with Titanic.
All right, Titanic. It is way too long. If you have 2 VCR tapes, way too long.
Yes, exactly. Facts.
My pick is going to be, I'm going to snipe Dex here. It's The Day After Tomorrow.
Fuck you.
Great film.
DVD cart. Banger.
Great film.
Banger. A young, oh shit. Jake Gyllenhaal. And yeah, global warming. Remember that thing? Remember that whole thing?
What a weird time that was.
Yeah. Dex, 2 picks.
Shit. So Day After Tomorrow and Titanic were definitely going to be my first 2 picks.
Well,
but I guess I should have prepared for that. So I'm going to go with Independence Day.
Hell yeah.
Because that movie is extremely fucking fun. Young Will Smith just
punches an alien in the face.
Yeah, just being Will Smith again.
Yep.
So, can't go wrong with that. Love it. Let's see for pick 2. I'm gonna stretch the definition of disaster here a little bit.
I'm about to stretch it too.
Okay.
No worries.
I'm gonna go with a movie that I don't love, but I like it. Pearl Harbor.
That's fair.
I would say that was a disaster.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, depends on who you ask. Pearl Harbor, they
too soon.
It's kind of like Twister, where the action is really, really good, and then the story is like they just had to have a story, and so
Michael Bay had no idea, had no right making that film.
They just stamped some characters in there in the middle of Pearl Harbor, but yeah, fuck it, Pearl Harbor.
Just hot people and then explosions. That's what that movie is.
Whatever happened to Josh Hartnett anyway?
Trying to make a comeback.
Oh, good.
He's been around. He's been around, but they were just gonna try to cast it. There's a moment where they were gonna try to cast him in everything, and it just didn't work out. So
yeah, it didn't last.
Kind of feel sorry for that guy. My number 2 overall. I can't believe it's gone this far. Armageddon.
That was going to be my next pick, and I only didn't pick a number 1 because I knew I was stretching the definition. But that's a great
Armageddon
classic.
Is incredibly bad. It is so bad. It's awesome. Their whole plight in this movie is okay. What if we, instead of teaching astronauts how to drill,
which would be much easier, by the way.
We teach drillers how to become astronauts. Yeah.
No disrespect to the oil drilling industry and all the good folks in that industry, but it would be a lot easier to teach a novice how to drill.
Complete disrespect.
Go into fucking space. It would take years to teach someone how to go to space. That never made sense.
Complete disrespect here. I will say this. Complete disrespect, because that dude from your high school doesn't know how to take 30 G's of force and then know how to operate a vehicle. But the dude that went to Harvard and is a pilot probably knows how to drill a well. I'm gonna go out on a limb. Sorry, be mad at me.
Dig it dig it.
And it's not like there's any asteroid drilling experts,
No, that's true. True. I stand corrected.
So.
The whole plight behind that movie, it's so Republican. The whole thing is that they just don't want to pay taxes.
Basically.
All right, Tej, your pick.
I'm gonna go with this is not everybody's favorite, like oh my god, there's something in the air, we're all gonna die movie. But I'm going Outbreak. I love Outbreak.
Instead of Contagion?
Yes, I know everybody loves Contagion, which I don't hate, but Contagion feels a bit too close to home, given the whole COVID thing. I tried to watch it during COVID, and it was just like an extremely bad idea. And I was like, oh, I can't watch this right now.
No, like
I'm going Outbreak. Outbreak is amazing. It literally created a genre to me because it was the first film of that nature that I had ever seen. And I will never forget the Outbreak Monkey. I still reference the Outbreak Monkey when it becomes when it's socially relevant. I'm gonna go Outbreak.
Outbreak's one of those things where it's like it's so over the top, and then just like Dustin Hoffman's there.
It's absolutely wild.
You're like, what? Okay, whatever. But yeah, Contagion's one of those ones, and I'm thinking about picking it. But Contagion's one of those ones. I watched Contagion on a date with my high school girlfriend. We want to talk about a mood killer.
How that date ended. It did not. No happy ending for Roy. That's not a date movie.
Swapping germs, huh?
Yeah. Hey, so you think we should wash our hands? I think we should go all wash our hands.
We're not making out now.
Yeah, this is disgusting. I don't even want to drive back in the same car with you. This is gross. Yeah, that movie was disgusting. That's one of those movies that like you go back and you watch it. There was a point, I was going to tweet it from our One Take account, where everyone was watching Contagion at the beginning of the pandemic, and they were all, it became like the most popular movie on IMDb.
On Netflix.
And on Netflix, yeah. And people were like, man, this sucks. That was like the review. Like,
we're screwed. We're done.
Man, we are all fucked.
That's right.
All right, Tony.
Two pigs.
Okay.
Tony two pigs.
There we go.
Tony two pigs. I like that.
That's a great name.
I'm going with another asteroid film, Deep Impact. Actually, I like that.
That was my
one.
Next pick.
Yeah.
Good one.
I think
that's the dual movie. You know what I'm talking about? Where they have like Volcano and Dante's Peak,
right,
where they have Deep Impact and Armageddon.
They compete
in
the
same movie.
Yeah. I like this one. I think a little bit better than Armageddon. It would seem more realistic for one thing, and it's got Morgan Freeman in there, and that whole thing at the end where he's talking, giving the speech, I thought was very, very moving. So, yeah. So, Deep Impact is my pick there, and for my other pick, I'm going back to the '70s and picking another Michael Crichton movie, The Andromeda Strain.
Ooh.
I've still never seen that.
It's very good, actually. I think it's one of the best science fiction movies of the '70s.
Nice.
Is that what he got popular for that and then wrote Jurassic Park?
He wrote Jurassic Park in the late '80s or early '90s. So yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he wrote the script on this. He might have directed it. No, he didn't direct it. I'm sorry. He did write. It was based on the book that he wrote. So.
All right.
Teach. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Tony.
No, it's just basically it's a space virus comes down and they have to try to determine how to
a space virus.
That's right. And it's
incredible.
Actually a very, very good one. So.
All right, Teach.
It's on me. All right, my last two. I'm not picking them both now, but I know no one's going to pick my other one. My last two picks are going to be extremely bad movies that I absolutely love. I'm picking Deep Blue Sea. That is.
I'm looking at that right now, actually.
A horrible film, but nice. Samuel Jackson is just great. El Cool J is perfectly fine. The only thing wrong with the movie really is that Michael Rappaport's in it because that guy sucks. But
hey, you fucking cocksucker!
It's fun as hell. And Samuel Jackson is in the middle of a long rant where he's yelling and screaming and cussing at everybody. He gets eaten by a shark. It was amazing. I love that movie. I will always watch it when it's on. Love Deep Blue Sea.
Oh man, This is tough because I got a couple that no one has have watched, but do I go with actual disaster movie as per what I'm thinking about, like Day After Tomorrow?
Nah, stretch it.
I Am Legend.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah.
I Am Legend. Not a great film, an incredible Will Smith performance. Probably the last good Will Smith performance, to be honest. But it is. They could have done so much more with that movie, but it was so impactful in 2007 when it came out for me. And then they actually killed that dog in that movie.
They
that.
did.
They did that. So, yeah, but that was when I was like, even though Will Smith has been nominated for Oscars and stuff, that Dumb Brain Movie Boy, when he choked out that dog, I was like, oh, Will Smith can act? Like, yeah, he's been nominated for Oscars. But anyway, so I Am Legend. Could have been better. They need to make it. They need to remake it.
All right, I got 2 picks. One of them is just an obvious disaster movie for shits and giggles. The other one is definitely a stretch and probably something nobody else had considered in this category. But I'm going with Sharknado. Just
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
What a fucking insane concept that somebody got to make like 5 different
I was
times.
gonna say 6, 7 movies.
Yeah, and again, it's one of those movies that's on TNT or like whatever cable channel, and I'll
Sci-fi.
I'll just sit and watch that shit, whichever Sharknado it is.
They kept getting bigger and bigger stars in those movies. Like people would start making cameos in those.
Yeah, Mark Cuban's in one of them for whatever.
Charlie Sheen. I mean, obviously his career was going downhill, but like, what?
Yeah, so shout out to Sharknado because when that first came out, I feel like all of us were like, "What the fuck?
Why?"
That was appointment viewing, man. We were like, this idea is too good for the movie to be bad.
There are 6 Sharknadoes. The last one is called The Last Sharknado: It's About Time.
Wow.
Came
I love
out
the
in
self-awareness.
2018.
Isn't Tara Reid in the first one?
She's in like 5 of them.
Wow. Tara Reid getting checks. Still.
Tara Reid is in all of them. She's in every single one. All 6.
Damn.
They haven't killed her yet?
Nope.
Maybe they like Fast and Furious killed her. They're just like, she's back.
Keep bringing her back.
Don't question it. And then my last one, like I said, a bit of a stretch. Prince of Egypt.
Ooh.
Oh, I would have
Okay,
never
yeah.
thought about
No, that. Ooh, yep.
It's a disaster for them.
I mean,
For
it is
a whole
literally a
lot of them.
disaster.
Yeah, like that movie, I liked it a lot as a kid, but like for entirely different reasons. Like I just thought like these frogs like being everywhere were really fucking funny, and like the music was really good.
Oh, this is a plague.
It's a plague, and then like going back and watching it and realizing like how fucking stacked the cast is, I was like, oh, this is insane. Like Val Kilmer's in this movie. Like, what's going on?
Wait, Val Kilmer was in that movie?
Yeah, right. Or was he in the other one? He's in one of them. One of those DreamWorks Disney or not Disney Bible movies.
All right, let's get Tej back in here. Get it together, man.
Yeah,
I don't
Val
know what the
Kilmer
hell
is
happened.
Moses.
Wait, Val Kilmer is Moses?
Yeah,
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay.
Michelle Pfeiffer, Sandra Bullock, Patrick Stewart, Steve Martin, Jeff Goldblum,
Good Lord.
What a cast.
Martin
Might have to-
Short, Danny Glover, Helen Mirren.
I have to rewatch this movie. My final pick is a film that like 5 people have seen. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's from the guy that if y'all watch Mud with Matthew McConaughey.
Never.
No,
I've seen that one.
Wow. Okay. That's the only thing that you would know this director for, but he was part of the reconnaissance with Mud, but he directed a film before that with Michael Michael Shannon, sorry, who's fantastic, and I didn't know he was a leading actor.
Love
Until I
Michael
watched it.
Shannon.
Yeah, until I watched this movie. It's called Take Shelter. Came out in 2011. Has Jessica Chastain and
That's a great movie.
oh, you've seen it?
I have seen that one.
Awesome. That's because like 5 people have seen it. Made like $3 million. Nobody.
It's a great watch.
Yeah. Go if you can find it. Go watch it. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere, but it's about a guy who has visions of a disaster that hasn't happened yet, and everybody in the town thinks he's crazy, and he builds like a disaster shelter. It's really good. It actually
might be one of the best movies about, and I'm not saying that he was mentally ill but just the idea that I might be
crazy. Yeah.
Got it.
Streaming on Amazon
crazy?
Prime.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
I'm gonna watch that. I love McConaughey. I'll watch that. Michael Shannon, McConaughey. I'll watch that.
McConaughey's not in that one. He's in Mud, but Michael Shannon is in that. It's one of the more intense movies that I think I've watched in a long time.
But, it's an underappreciated movie, for sure.
Got it.
All right, Deej, final pick.
My last pick, personal favorite. Every time I take some edibles and watch this movie, I always enjoy it. Snakes on a Plane.
Oh, yeah.
I just love it, man. It's so stupid and so fun, and I just love every second. Hashtag protect Samuel L. Jackson, one of the greatest actors of all time. I love him. It's just amazing. It's perfect.
You know what's funny is that movie doesn't have terrible reviews. Like people are
because it's not bad.
Yeah, critics were like, yeah, it is. It is.
On a
Snakes
plane.
are here on a plane.
You walk in with very low expectations into that film, and you're just like, not the worst thing I've ever seen. Better than half the M. Night Shyamalan movies, so we'll just go with that.
If you're going to watch a movie called Snakes in a Plane, and it's a bunch of snakes on a plane, I mean,
You're
gonna enjoy yourself.
You were there. You bought that ticket.
You got what you wanted.
You signed on the dotted line on that one.
Yeah.
I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
Monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
No, I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane. That needs to be put up there with like, I think we need a bigger boat. Like that needs to be put up there with like, may the force be with you. All-time movie lines. Yeah. All those movie lines. Quite frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Right. I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane. Tony, last pick.
All right. I'm going to go with actually a parody. I'm going to go with Airplane.
Hell yeah.
Nice. I like that.
Incredible.
It's one of the funniest movies, just regardless. But as a disaster parody, I don't think you could top it.
I picked the wrong day to stop smoking opium.
That's right. And the autopilot. It's classic scenes.
You ever seen a grown man naked before?
And with the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and
my favorite thing is like he goes, my dad says you don't get back on defense. Listen, kid, you tell your old man if he had to drag Bill Walton up and down the court all night.
That's right. I mean, there's just so many scenes, like the disco scene. It's just amazing. Just an amazing, funny movie.
That movie's incredible. Listen, kid, if you tell your dad if I had to drag Bill Walton up and down the court all night. Oh God! All right, Tony. Thank you for coming on, man. This was hilarious. This was a blast. I loved it. Tell us where you can find what you're working on, writing, doing, anything like that. Of course, you've been viral in Astro's Twitter before. So
yeah. I mean, if you want to see me live Groundhog Day every day and fight the same Twitter battles every day, you can follow me at Adams_AT.
Adams_AT. All right. You can find us at One Take Pod on Twitter. It's at One Take Pod. You can find us at One Take Pod on Instagram as well. You can email the show at One Take Podcast at gmail.com. Dex, is there like merchandise or such that you may be wanting to buy?
There is a ton of merchandise that you can buy, and some of it has our logo on it, which is really, really cool. It's a big moment for us. You can buy One Take Podcast merchandise at apollohau.com. And, if it's a little too expensive for you, you can take 10% off of that with promo code One Take Pod, ONETAKEPOD for 10% off your entire purchase at apollohouston.com. It like the flyest Houston merch you've ever seen in your life. We dropped some new stuff today. By the time this episode is out, it'll be gone. It was
Well,
one
if you're
day
watching
only.
the live stream, you can actually
You can go buy it right now.
like the
Right
5
now.
people that are
27th
watching
merch.
this. Yeah,
Yeah, June 27th merch. Go buy it right now on followitau.com. But
the double cup Apollo was like
amazing.
Ooh,
Our
anyway.
designers are incredible. Tony is probably designing some new stuff right now. Like we are constantly putting out
I just finished
incredibly
one right
dope
now.
stuff. See?
Uh,
So yeah, follow us. Keep up with all the merch that drops and get 10% off. Promo code OneTakePod.
on top of that, is there a movie that's coming out that we should be supporting?
Yes.
Oh,
Black
Or a person?
Widow drops in like less than 2 weeks. Like we are right on it. Like,
wah, wah, wah,
We are
wah,
right
wah.
there.
You know what's going to happen is I'm not going to have tickets for the first night showing. We're going to want to do a live episode. Like I'm going to pay on like Disney Plus.
I've already got mine.
I already got my
I'm-
tickets.
I'm
I'm in the
there.
game.
It's been too long for another Marvel movie. It's just been too long.
It has.
I guess the series have helped us get by, but
I need it. I need to be back in there with like
Cannot
dozens
wait.
of strangers watching Florence Pugh kick ass in the MCU. The MCU is upon us. Royden, we can't hear you. You're saying things that we don't know what they are.
On top
We
of
don't know
that,
what you're saying.
on top of that,
There you
what
go.
are we doing though?
We're
Are we-
hashtag supporting Florence
Yes.
Pugh, literally at all times.
At all times. All right. On top of all of that, thank you for listening, downloading, subscribing. Please leave a 5-star review. It really does help us. We really appreciate that. Also, shout out to the person in my DMs that recommended Twister. Let me go down here and find that person so I can shout them out. They are an avid listener. Holy
Good
shit.
recommendation. Good recommendation.
Oh, no. Where did their tweet go? Well, you know who you are. Shit. Okay, anyway.
Bumbo.
Oh, wait.
Garrett. It's Garrett.
It's Garrett?
I
Oh,
don't
no,
know
it
the
is.
at.
No, it
It's
is.
Garrett.
Yeah, it is Garrett. All right. No, it is Garrett Greiger 3. Thank you so much for recommending this.
Good job,
We-
Garrett.
Thank you,
You bodied
Garrett,
that.
for recommending this. We appreciate you listening. I totally knew your name from the start. I definitely did not have to search through Twitter messages. Anyway, we're out.
Peace.
All right, I gotta run. I'm late for dinner.